Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and something I need to clarify again, because some people seem to think that I'm supporting supplements because I have a couple of affiliate links. I don't support that many supplements, and the truth is, most supplements are going to do very, very little for you. Any supplement that's capable of building muscle on you or burning fat on you is either correcting some sort of dietary deficiency that you already have, because your diet's not perfect, and you know, who the hell's diet's perfect? Not everyone's is. Very, very few of us have a perfect diet. Me, I don't eat fish, I don't eat enough omega-3, so I take fish oil. I don't get enough sunlight in the winter, so I take vitamin D3. I occasionally take protein powder. I don't even take protein powder every day. There's no need for it. There's no need for most of you to take it. Protein powders are a convenience. They're something that are a convenient way to get some quick protein in to get your protein needs, and generally they're more useful for cutting than they are for gaining muscle mass. You need less protein to gain muscle than you do to preserve muscle and cutting. And anything that actually does do these things turns out to generally be a drug or to be spiked to drugs, and it gets banned eventually. Like in the US, any supplement that really works, the pharmaceutical companies are going to jump on that and get it banned, just like they did ephedra. Ephedra was actually a legitimate fat burner. Government-funded studies showed it was a great fat burner. Big Pharma got it banned. So you're not going to see good supplements that really have a strong effect outside of correcting dietary imbalances. And if you got a dietary imbalance for whatever reason, yeah, supplement. Particularly if you go to your doctor, get some blood work done, and they find something, oh yeah, you should definitely get on supplements. But even then, go check the brands. A lot of brands, it turns out, when independent testing is done, don't even have the ingredients in them they're supposed to have. Even worse, a lot of supplements out there are hyped up and filled full of drugs, and then they get caught later. This is at least a dozen times companies have been caught for spiking drugs in their supplements to either boost performance, improve muscle gain, things like that. Fine, I'm not against drugs, but people should know what they're putting in their bodies, and the fact that they're falsely advertising it, probably charging you more than the drugs actually cost, otherwise they wouldn't be making a profit, and spiking you with something that you're not aware that you're taking. That's really not cool. That's extremely unethical. I think everyone should know what they're putting into their bodies. That's totally reasonable. So don't buy into the hype. And you know what, guys? Even all the people who prop up the supplements, whether they're the models, the bodybuilders, and sometimes, actually, let's just go ahead and say most of the guys on YouTube are on a little bit of gear. They're using some drugs. They're using some creatine and whey protons. No matter how many of them claim that they're not. That's just the real world. They're making a living off of their physiques. They're making a living oftentimes off the results. In a very competitive environment, you can be damn sure they're using drugs. And I'll give you guys an example of how bad it goes, and I'm not going to name the name because a guy's friend of mine confided to me in private. One of the guys who was pumping up the whole BioGrow thing, when I told you guys BioGrow doesn't work, there's nothing in it biologically that should work unless they're spiking it with drugs. It's not going to give you gains. As a ripoff, it's actually more expensive than drugs. One of the guys who claimed he was getting good results on it came and told me his drug stack, and he had started just at the time before he started pimping BioGrow, 2 weeks before it. And talking about his results, he told me that he was on 2 grams of total gear. He told me he was on growth hormone, but he had added at that time the biggest amount of IGF-1 he had ever added to his stack. And then he attributed the gains to BioGrow because he was getting paid by BioGrow. Don't buy into the hype, guys. Most of these supplements don't do a lot. They're there to correct dietary imbalances, and they're there for convenience. Nothing more, nothing less. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go. Oh, Mount Bicepius.